The markets feel uncomfortable, prices are moving, but conviction is missing. And this is the exact environment where most people get trapped. Now, Bitcoin is pulling back into levels that have mattered every single time before, and Ethereum is quietly setting up something important, but it's not ready just yet. Now, I'm not chasing anything, I'm just watching how prices behave. This is Bitcoin on point, where we wait whilst the market shows its hand. Bitcoin is doing something very familiar right now, and historically, every time we see a sequence of swings, 1, 2, and 3, price pulls back, and then the next leg forms. Right now, we've already seen 3 swings and we're sitting inside that second pullback again. And at the same time, Ethereum is moving into a zone where a very clean trade idea could be forming. Again, not just yet, but very close. So this is definitely a decision moment. In this video, we'll break down why this Bitcoin pullback is very important and how lower time frame behavior is setting up, and also the Ethereum daily trade idea I'm watching very closely and how I'd execute it on the 4-hour time frame. I'll also show you how I'm handling all of this inside my $10,000 to $100,000 trading challenge. So stick with me, make sure you're subscribed if you want that real-time market thinking, not reactions. Now, a quick context before we go further. Inside this 10,000 to 100,000 trading challenge, I'm not forcing any entries. I'm waiting for price to come to my levels so we can react. Now, YouTube is the daily overview. Telegram is where I share the live trade updates and execution decisions in real time, and the links are all in the description. Now, before we go further, hit that like button. Let's target 20 likes and subscribe. It helps more than you think, and it tells me you want more of these real-time market breakdowns. So a quick macro context before diving back into the charts, because tokenized finance continues to expand. Bitcoin mining pressure just eased meaningfully, and on Ethereum, large players are still locking up supply aggressively. This isn't panic behavior, this is positioning, and we've seen it all before. Now let's start with the Bitcoin daily chart, because this is the main story right now. If you look back at history, Bitcoin has moved in clear swing sequences, and every time we get 1, 2, 3 swings, the price pulls back, it tests prior structure, and then the next leg begins. So right now we've already completed 3 swings, and we're currently inside the second pullback again. And if you extend this structure to the left, you'll notice something important. Swing 4 and swing 5 acted as support previously, and price is now retracing directly into that same zone. So the overall trend is still up. This is a pullback, not a breakdown, but nothing is confirmed just yet. Now, on the Bitcoin 4-hour time frame, I'm not looking for trades here. I'm just watching the behavior. And there's a strong bearish order block around 94.7K. Below that, the $90,000 region, that we always cover, is also a key decision area. Now, the last real support sits near 88K. If price accepts below that level, the daily idea is weakening. You know, if price dips, sweeps the liquidity, and then reclaims the strength, then the structure actually would stay intact. So there's no action here, it's just simply validation. Now, let's zoom into the Bitcoin 2-hour, because this is where the story becomes clearer. What we're seeing here is very traditional market behavior. Price is currently in consolidation, a tight range, overlapping candles with no follow through. And this usually leads to manipulation, and based on structure, manipulation most likely pushes prices down towards the 86 to 87K zone. And that move isn't weakness, it's liquidity engineering. Because if you zoom out, our short-term bias is still bullish. The idea is simple: consolidation to build liquidity, manipulation to shake out weak hands, and distribution towards the upside. And if the price retraces back towards the bearish order block at 94K, that's where the reactions matter. So I'm not trading this yet, I'm just letting it unfold in real time. Now, a quick update on our trading challenge. We've taken 2 trades so far, one on TON and one on Bitcoin. Both of these were winners, and the account is currently up 2.86%, roughly $286 in profit. There's no overtrading, no emotional decisions. I execute these trades on the week's exchange, and I track everything transparently using Profits Precision. So all the trade updates are shared live in my Telegram, and the links are in the description. Now, shifting over to Ethereum. This is where the actual trade idea in this video lives. On the daily time frame, Ethereum is respecting a very clear bearish order block, and that's around $3,200. And from that zone, prices sold off aggressively with two strong bearish candles. There's no hesitation, and that tells me the supply is real and sellers are in control for now. And what's important is not that the price actually fell, it's how it fell, right? Because there was no strong bounce, there was no absorption, just simple continuation to the downside. And it usually means that the market hasn't finished its move yet. So as long as ETH stays below the order block, the bearish daily idea remains valid. But I'm not shorting blindly. Daily defines the bias and lower time frames actually define the execution. So on the 4-hour for ETH, this is where the execution actually matters because I'm watching the support, not the entries. 2.8K, that region is very important. This is where buyers should at least attempt to respond. If price holds here and starts pulling back upwards, I'm not buying, I'm watching for a retracement. The key execution zone for that retracement sits roughly at about $3,054 to $3,000. If price moves into that zone, stalls and shows weakness and fails to reclaim the structure, that's where a valid short would actually become valid. So there's no guessing, no anticipation. We'll let the price come into resistance and prove itself weak. If it happens, then I act. If it doesn't, I simply wait. And everything that I'm discussing now will be shared in Telegram. So stepping back, Bitcoin is correcting inside a broader structure with lower time frame manipulation likely still ahead. Ethereum is the primary trade focus with daily bias defined and execution pending on the lower time frames. Fear is present and price is compressing. And this is exactly where patience is separating the traders. So I'm watching, I'm waiting, and I'll only act when structure confirms. Now, if you want to follow this in real time, weeks for the execution, profits precision for the tracking, and free Telegram for live updates. All links are in the description. Let the market come to us. Until next time, all of the best.